Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us that it's Shoichi time. Anyways, let's just hop right in. Come again. I got myself worked up for no reason today. I went the whole way from Shoichi's house, psyching myself up to finally tell Mom about Shoichi and I, only to find out she's spending the night at a hotel near her office and she won't be done with work until the last train's stopped. Seriously, what's with that timing? It's like the world is messing with me. Once Aki told me about that, I deflated pretty noticeably for the rest of the night, with him asking me a few times if there was something bothering me. Not that I'd ever tell him. That kid is already a pain in my ass in the best of days. I don't need to give him more ammunition for teasing. Tried shooting Shoichi a message about it, kind of hoping he'd let me vent a little bit, but... The fuck? Dating a busy person is a pain sometimes. I want attention! But no matter how much I flail and wiggle in bed out of sheer frustration, it's not like I can make him reply. God, I feel like I'm becoming more and more pathetic the longer I stay in a relationship. Being in love is exhausting. How do people not make a mess out of themselves in relationships? But in the end, it's worth it. Man, I can't wait for tomorrow to arrive. July 7th. Oh, that is... The transition page is still broken. Every so often, I glance up at the clock once more, impatiently waiting for every tick of its arms while tapping my own fingers against my desk. Glance at my phone, but there's still no sign of life. What the hell, man? Don't tell me that Tate again. Shoichi, what the hell's been going on? This isn't like you. If you're just busy not replying to my texts, it'd be one thing. I'd be plenty freaked out by that, but at least it wouldn't be too much of a crisis yet. But missing out on class too? What's going on? Maybe it's time I get off my ass and try checking in on him. Should I drop by his place after class, or maybe I should ask Hitoka-chan. I know he hates when I involve her in stuff, but I'm starting to get really worried here. I mean, he's supposed to have a family dinner with Hitoka-chan and Sachiko-san tomorrow night, isn't he? Hitoka's bound to know more than I do, at least. But what if she doesn't know anything, and I might end up worrying her even more for no reason? Didn't I already do a good job of messing stuff up with her earlier this week? I hate this version of me that can't make up his mind and hesitates constantly. Being wishy-washy all the time, you gotta shape up, Yuichi. Either way, I have to do something, right? Maybe he's sick, that's probably it. I mean, what other explanation is there? But even if that's all it is, surely he'd want his boyfriend around, right? I mean, if he's sick enough that he's not even answering his phone. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna drop by after class, maybe with some soup or so. Message, this is Saya-chan! Come on, don't interrupt my decisive moment like... Oh no. What the hell? This isn't like Saya-chan at all. Is it really that bad? Ugh, fuck it, I don't care if class starts in 10 minutes. I need to see how he's doing. Open the front door without a word, not really caring about showing up to a different class so close to the start time for our lessons. Immediately beeline for Shoichi's seat, and that's when I see them. Shoichi sitting at his desk, avoiding Saya-chan's gaze while she stands next to him, leaning into his chair and attempting to talk to him. The moment we lock eyes, she shakes her head at me, and for some reason I feel my chest tighten. Looking at Shoichi, though, his fur seems disheveled, and there are dark circles around his eyes visible even through his fur. Even his usually pristine uniform is wrinkled as if it had just been haphazardly thrown on. The usual Shoichi who cares so much about his public image would never do something like that. For good or bad, he always shows up to school looking incredibly well presented. Hey, Shoichi, it's been a while. What's going on with me? Why am I feeling so self-conscious all of a sudden? At least talk to him properly! Yuichi, you idiot! Oh, hey, Yoichi. Sorry, I didn't see you there. What the hell? What's with that delayed reaction? Why do you look so out of it? Didn't see me here? Are you telling me you didn't even notice me? How even? No, it's not the time for me to be upset here. There's something wrong with Shoichi. Shoichi? What's wrong? What happened to you? Hmm? I'm fine. No way, don't talk like that. Tell Yuichi-kun what you told me. Sho-chan. Shoichi recoils and shrinks in his seat, almost as if he wished he could be anywhere else right now, all while still avoiding eye contact with the both of us. Shoichi? Is it something you can't tell me? Shoichi's ears twitch, and though it's very subtle, his body shakes upon hearing my words. Dad took my phone. Huh? I'm sorry, he did what? Yeah. And what else did you tell me? Saya keeps goading him, like one would a child that doesn't want to admit to something. The whole thing might have been funny if I weren't so worried right now. Takehiko-san took his phone? Why would he do that? Is that why he hasn't been answering anyone? What is that even for? Some kind of punishment? And he wants me to transfer. Come again? I've been very distracted lately. He thinks I'll do better at a different school. Hang on a second, that's insane. This is already one of the best schools in town. What is he expecting here? Shh! Yuichi-kun, you're being too loud. Right before I realized, I cried out from sheer shock. Now some people are staring at us. Ugh, this class is way too full. I know it's right before the bell rings, but still. People in the college prep class are way too punctual. I'm sorry, I won't shout anymore, but seriously, where's this coming from? Your grades are great, you're both class president and the president of the student council. What more does he want? Sho-chan. There was one more thing. There's more? What is it? Stop edging me like this, you two. This is too much. Shoichi deflates even more than he already was, his eyes glued to his hands on his desk, now fidgeting and pulling at his fingers restlessly. The moment I start worrying that he might have clammed up and won't talk anymore, he starts talking again, his voice shaking. I've been begging him to let me stay, but it's decided. What do you mean it's decided? He can't make a decision like that all on his own. You're an adult now. He can't just pull you out of school without your say-so. It's not that simple. The hell it isn't. I mean, we already talked about this a few days ago, right? He doesn't get to throw his weight around and make you do stuff you can't do. Besides, what possible reason could he have for... He saw... Saw? What are you talking about? You know, in front of my house a few days ago, That's when it clicks. My blood suddenly runs cold and I straighten up involuntarily. The full weight of his words hits me all of a sudden, and I feel like the air has been forcefully knocked out of me, leaving me struggling for breath. Wait a second, you don't mean he... Shoichi. Yeah. You don't mean that... What are you saying? You know what I'm saying. God, how didn't I see this coming? Kissing like that, so brazenly out in the open. All because what? I wanted to surprise Shoichi with it like he tends to surprise me? At least when he does, it's always somewhere where no one can see. Thoughtless, I'm so stupid and thoughtless. Did he take it badly? What am I even asking? I knew that was a stupid question before I was even done asking it. How do you think he took it? If he took Shoichi's phone and is trying to make him change schools, he obviously didn't take it well. Still, the way Shoichi's face shifted so fast to my question, it's obvious that even just being asked is painful for him. Yeah. I'm sorry, still, what are you going to do about it? What do you think? We did talk about pushing back against him, not letting him tell you what... About going against him? For a club, sure, but this? It's just too much, Shoichi. You can't be serious. Fuck, you're not actually going to transfer out, are you? I know you said he wanted you to, but there's no way you can just do that. What else am I supposed to do, Shoichi? I've never seen him more serious about something in my life. But if you can't let him push you around like that, Shoichi. Shoichi's shoulders sag, his whole body leaning forward as he lowers his head, avoiding even having me in his field of view anymore. Say something. I mean, this is so unreasonable. There's no way you can just... Shoichi! The husky looks me in the eye, probably for the first time today, and smiles. Or at least tries to smile. I can't tell right now. The wrinkles around his eyes, the way his eyebrows tremble, the way his lips quiver and struggle to keep their shape. It's so forced. I want nothing more than to hug him right then. But still, his tone of voice, it makes me freeze. I need some space, okay? To think things over. But, please. That one small word, it completely takes the fight out of me. I can't keep arguing, not when he says it like that. So weak and vulnerable. Here I am trying to pick a fight, to find a way to keep the argument going when Shoichi clearly has nothing left in him anymore. Okay, I'll go for now. Thanks, Saya-chan. I call her name, making the rabbit look away from Shoichi and exchange a quick look with me. Even though my voice trails off, the message gets passed either way. We've known each other long enough for it too. Look out for him. And the look Saya flashes back at me, it's pretty obvious what it means. Like you have to ask. With one last hesitant look back, I leave the room, engraving the image of Shoichi looking so tired and vulnerable in my mind. Takehiko-san, all respect I used to have for you now is officially gone. By the time classes come to an end, I still find myself trying to think of solutions and coming up with nothing. It goes without saying that I did not focus on school for even a second today, being too busy worrying about Shoichi to pay it any mind. It's so frustrating to have a problem laid so clearly right in front of you and yet have no way to solve it. What the hell am I supposed to do? Poke, 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 poke. Jun-kun, could you stop poking me? I'm thinking. Oh, he lives. What is it? Do you need something? Need? No, not really. I was just wondering if you're going to be okay sitting there all day. Class has been over for almost 10 minutes, you know. I'm aware. Like I said, I'm thinking. Besides, why are you still here? No real reason. I just wanted to know how long you'd sit there. Do you really have nothing better to do? Not at the moment. I'd usually be amused, but I'm too shitty of a mood right now to laugh it off. Okay, I'll be going now. Heading to practice? In a bit. Is everything okay? You don't seem to be doing too well, and I noticed Shoichi-san and Mizuguchi-san didn't show up for lunch today either. I thought I'd try to lighten the mood, but... So that's what you were doing. Makes sense. You're pretty sharp yourself, so I shouldn't be surprised. Just... Today's not a good day, okay? Please don't take it personally. Okay, do you... I don't know, need to talk about it or something? No, not really. I'll be going now. Bye, June. What? But... I leave before the tiger can really finish talking, as I'm not really in the mood to be cheered up right now. All I can think about is Shoichi. If Takehiko is going so far as to take his phone away and try to transfer him out, he might try to get Shoichi to cut me out of his life too, right? When I think about that, my blood boils. There's no way I can let that happen. I know I said I'd give him some space, but I can't sit idly by and let things happen without trying to do, I don't know, something? This involves me too. It's not like I'm some kind of unrelated party. So before going to practice, I beeline straight for the adjunct building to where Shoichi is most likely to be at a time like this. The student council. Hopefully I'll think of something to say by the time I get there. If not, then... I don't know, I'll improvise. This plan is starting to sound more and more tenuous the more I think about it. Oh, Yuichi-kun. Sorry, now's not really a good time. Well, I'm gonna knock on the door and I'm greeted by the familiar saber cat. I hear what sounds like a lot of arguing behind him. I'm tempted to tiptoe around him to see what's going on, but none of that is important right now. That's fine, it won't take long. Can I talk to Shoichi? That's, why it's not a good time. Come again? Shoichi-san isn't here right now. After being absent for a few days, he randomly showed up this morning, put in for an indefinite leave of absence from the council and left. He what? Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know. He said it was due to family issues, so I assumed you'd know about it. I knew there was stuff going on, but I didn't think you would... My voice grows quieter until eventually trailing off, the gears in my head coming to a sudden halt at this random wrench in my plans. Shoichi putting in for a leave? From the council of all things! That surely doesn't mean he's actually considering transferring, right? Right? Hey, Yuichi-kun. Is everything okay with the prez? I know I've been pretty insistent lately that he takes time for himself and all, and I would love it if that's what he's doing, but I don't know. He seems really worn down and all. You don't think he quit because of my yapping, do you? It's not that. Honestly, I don't even think that's even a blip on Shoichi's radar right now. And it's not because that thing you asked me about a few days ago either, right? I mean, Haru told me you guys had an intervention and everything, and next thing I know, no, that's not... I can't talk about what's been going on, but it has nothing to do with you guys. That's so... Wish I could say it's a relief, but... I feel you there, unfortunately. And I've officially escalated from heavy worry to outright panic. Fuck, it's hell in my brain right now. If it's not asking too much, next time you see Perez, could you see how he's doing and let me know? I'll give you my contact information. Oh, yeah, sure, why not? It's the least I can do given how much I've been bugging you lately. It's nothing, don't mention it. Higa-kun and I both pull our phones out, quickly swapping info while exchanging idle chatter. Kasama-kun, are you down over there? We need some help. We can find the supply of requisition papers from the arts club. What, again? We made them fill it out again yesterday because we lost them the first time. You're telling me it's been misplaced again? Sorry, Yoichi-kun, I should really get going. This place doesn't really run well without Shoichi-san here. And we're all a bit in the weeds right now. I can see that. No wonder they sound so stressed. There's even people running around frantically behind Higa-kun, probably looking for the documents they lost. Even a quick peek behind the saber cat shows a mess of papers the likes I've never seen before. What the hell goes on in here most of the time? Talk to you later. Let me know when you hear anything. Will do. Just like that, the saber cat steps back into the room, closing the door behind him, leaving me lagging behind in the hallway. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Never even crossed my mind that Shoichi might not be here. I mean, sure, he's going through a lot, but he's usually the #1 advocate of burying your feelings in your work. I'm all out of ideas. The only thing I can think of is heading to practice and asking Sai if she managed to pry any more information out of Shoichi. Kinda wanted that to be plan B, since I'd much rather talk to him myself than have to rely on Sai as some kind of mediator, but there's nothing else I can do right now. If he doesn't have his phone and he's not at school, there's very little I can do to get in contact with him. Another place I can think of him is being at home, and there's no chance Takehiko would let me see him right now. God fucking damn it, I feel so damn helpless right now. I should probably get going. If I stand around doing nothing while alone with my thoughts, I'm afraid I might burst into tears here, and that would be mortifying. A few minutes later, I head straight to the courts from there, quickly getting changed in the locker room while mostly ignoring any attempt at small talk from the few stragglers that haven't gotten dressed and headed inside yet. Thankfully, I don't run into any of Shoichi's teammates on the way in. Having them try and ask me about him would just worsen my mood even more. Once I'm indoors, I took a second looking around for any signs of Saya. I spot the faces most familiar to me, but still see no sign of Saya-chan. After a couple minutes looking, I give up and walk up to the tall, burly crocodile that's watching the boys warm up from afar while barking occasional instructions at them. Is it me, or does he look a bit sharper today, like the look in his eyes? Arima-kun, I see you trying to act busy over there. If you don't warm up properly, I'm not letting you play. And Miura-kun, stop chatting and get back to it. Excuse me. And the crocodile looks at me, his eyes soften some, and a smile parts his lips. Good afternoon, Yoichi-kun. It's unusual for you to come talk to me. Do you need something? Sort of. I was needing to talk to Saya, but I don't see her anywhere. Is she too late or something? Oh, Sayatan actually showed up a little while ago to tell me she wouldn't be able to attend practice today as she had something else she needed to do. She left right after, so I doubt she's still in school. She what? Sorry, figured you'd have known. I wasn't made aware. Saya too? What the hell is going on? Why did she at least let me know she was going to do that? Keisuke-kun is already here. Maybe you two could have a couple practice sets so I can... Yeah, sure, in a minute. I just need to get a hold of Saya real quick. Okay, but don't take too... Walk away from the crocodile as quickly as I can, totally tuning him out the moment I decided to try calling Saya. I anxiously tap my feet while waiting for some kind of response, but after hearing the dial tone for far longer than I'd like, the call ends without connecting. Are you kidding me? Why aren't you picking up your phone? Try shooting her a message, but after waiting around for several minutes, there's no kind of response. In fact, the messages aren't even being read. Saya-chan, don't do this to me! What the hell is going on? Why are they both suddenly absent at the same time? Did something happen? No, Shoichi tends to rely on Saya for advice and support a lot, but is it really something he can't talk to me about? Could it be that he needs advice about me? Fuck. My brain is jumping to all the worst case scenarios. What the fuck am I supposed to do? The tips of my ears grow hotter and hotter, and eventually a sound like that of the ocean overtakes my senses. Not only that, my vision grows and the edges of my sight darken. Before long, I can't even focus anymore. All I can think about is a loud thumping of my heart echoing inside my head faster and faster, till it feels like it's going to drive me mad. I place a hand on my chest trying to steady myself, but even my breathing refuses to stabilize, growing more and more labored by the second. I swallow 1, 2, 3 times, gripping my shirt extra tight with my shaky hands, but no matter how much saliva I try to swallow, my throat feels dry, as if there were ashes in my mouth. Shit. This is really bad, isn't it? It feels like Shoichi is slipping away from me. Is he actually going to do it? Transfer to a different school? What next? Will he cut me off? Will our relationship end like it never even existed? No, anything but that! Jisan. The sudden clapping of a hand on my shoulder jogs me away and back to reality for a second, though it does nothing to stabilize my shaking knees and my struggle to breathe.
Are you okay? You look pale. What's wrong? Hey, your legs are shaking like a newborn fawn. Get a grip, man.
I can't.
You... come with me. I doubt you want people seeing you when you're like this. All right, there doesn't seem to be anyone around. Now, are you okay?
I don't know.
What's going on? Notice you seem pretty out of it during lunch, but this isn't like you. What happened back there?
I'm not sure.
You looked like you were having a panic attack.
Is that what it was? I guess it makes sense.
It makes sense? What exactly is going on? Does it have something to do with Urata and Mizuguchi-san not showing up for lunch today? Did you guys have a fight or something?
That's... Think it over for a few moments before ultimately deciding that I can't keep this to myself anymore, otherwise I'll most definitely end up having a panic attack again. So, I tell Keikun everything, starting from the beginning. I go a bit longer with my explanation than I thought I would. Once I got started, I found myself shockingly incapable of stopping. Other than the few breaks I had to take to just breathe throughout my tirade, I blabber on uninterrupted, talking much faster than usual. Keisuke, for his part, listens to me attentively, nodding a few times and making a few sounds every now and again to indicate he's still following. It's embarrassingly therapeutic to be able to say it all. Even just doing that already makes me feel so much better. By the time I'm done, I need to take another breathing break because holy fuck! Realizing that I'm finally done, Keikun closes his eyes, taking a deep breath, and then another. Oh, are you just going to stay silent? Hey, Keikun, don't you have anything to say?
What a deeply unpleasant little man.
Holy shit, I wasn't expecting that from the get-go.
Please pardon my silence. I had to tamp down on the sudden onset of
murderous rage that began boiling within me. You're good.
And what, pray tell, is the plan right now? Certainly, Urata is not planning to meekly acquiesce to these unreasonable demands, is he?
I'm not sure.
I've never known him to be so weak-willed, but I can understand that refusing one's own parents would prove particularly difficult still. It is a truly lamentable position to be put in, not to mention infuriating.
Yeah, although, are you good? You sound very different.
Truly. I will be honest and admit I have not paid much attention to how I might come across, given the fact that so much of my attention is currently being spent on containing my anger.
That's the thing, though. It doesn't feel the least bit contained. If anything, you're way scarier like this. Like you're oozing bloodlust or something, despite the calm look on your face. Feels like if we came across Shoichi's father right now, I'd end up becoming an accessory to murder. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
No, you needn't. Give me a moment to compose myself. I'll get back to normal in a bit. I didn't mean to freak you out.
It's okay, just you don't tend to flip like that too often, so it was a little creepy.
Is that not the definition of freaking you out?
I guess.
Still, I can't lie and pretend that I'm not angry. This whole situation is profoundly and frustrating. I can only imagine how Urata is feeling.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Knowing them, I imagine Mizuguchi-san skipped on practice day so she could keep an eye on him. If his father's putting all these restrictions on him, he likely wouldn't want for Urata to hang out without supervision after class is over. He might have been told to head straight home, in which case Mizuguchi-san would most likely would be more likely to be allowed inside than you, right?
Oh, I guess that's true. I hadn't considered things from that point of view. Not that it's any kind of relief. If Takehiko really did put that kind of restriction on Shoichi, that just might make everything worse instead of better. What do I do?
Nothing.
What? That's not funny!
Good. I'm not joking.
So, what, you expect me to sit back and do nothing? Just let Shoichi slip through my fingers like that? The man is trying to get him away from me!
I'm well aware, but what exactly do you think you can achieve?
That's...
Even if you manage to convince Urata to stand his ground, are you going to be the one dealing with the consequences of that? He's only just begun mending his relationship with his mother and sister. Would you force him out of the closet to them so as to explain why he might have been kicked out of the house? After all, he's an adult now. You know his father could do it. How do you think Urata would feel about that?
That's not...
Granted, odds are he might get out anyway, but how things get out is just as important. The delivery matters, and it would be much better for him if you weren't backed into it. What I'm saying is, trying to force yourself into this situation might end up hurting Urata even more. Whatever you do is bound to have real, actual consequences that will affect him more than anything. What I'm saying is take a moment to really think things through before you do something you can't take back. To begin with, yeah, we're all adults, but barely. We're not independent and we don't have our own source of income. There's a limit to what we can do. For good or bad, we are still dependent on others.
Then what would you suggest?
If you're up to me, well, it's not a perfectly fair question as my circumstances greatly differ from your own, but maybe you should start by considering the possibility that this is more than you can handle on your own.
What does that mean?
It means that Shoichi's father is only one of the parents involved in this situation. Murata still has his mother, yes, and you have your own. Perhaps it would be best to bring them into the loop. Avoid leaving only one parent capable of throwing their weight around. It'd be much better if they were told by one of the two of you when there is still something they can do, instead of having it come from Murata's father after all. Well, it's already been resolved. Food for thought, perhaps?
That's... to be honest, this is exactly the kind of thing I didn't want to hear from you. Not because it's wrong or unreasonable, if anything, it's the total opposite. I really wanted someone to get angry with me. I feel a lot dumber being the one getting riled up while you're the voice of reason. But I guess that sort of thing goes too far against your nature. You really don't ever do anything without thinking it through, do you?
It is sadly what I was raised to be like. I'm sorry if it offends, but it's impossible for me to follow through on something without considering all possible angles.
No, it's fine. I should have expected it. You did give me a lot to think about, at least.
For now, better to approach the situation considering him a well-meaning but ultimately misguided person. At least if that is the case, he can still be reasoned with, but parents are, as always, not prone to taking advice from their kids. Especially for a disciplinarian. He'd be more likely to consider any argument from you or Urata as backtalk simply because it comes from you. Better to bring support into the conversation, strengthen numbers and all that. Yes?
Fair enough. I'll think things through. Honestly, just... this is a shitty situation. I genuinely feel so bad for Shoichi. Something that can be done. It's not ideal, but it can be done. Is something similar to what Keisuke did, in which Shoichi lives with Yuichi. That would be the best thing to do if we consider the worst case scenario. If the worst case scenario does come to be, Shoichi's mother is unsupportive and Shoichi's father throws him out of the house, best thing to do is for Shoichi to live with Yuichi. Yeah. Obviously, he's not going to do shit without backup, which is a good thing. It's a shitty situation. It's a very shitty situation. Fair enough. I'll think things through.
That's good. Now, I can tell the coach you will also be taking off today. If you need, you have a lot going on right now.
Honestly, I think it's better if I stay.
Oh?
If I went home, I'd just keep thinking about this and driving myself crazy. Right now, I need to tire myself out a bit. Get my body moving a little. Might help.
Fair enough. In that case, would you mind playing a couple sets with me? I'll help you with your warm-up.
I'd appreciate that.
Now come on, before Coach thinks we've escaped.
Why would he think we escaped?
It's happened before. Remember Mizuguchi-san's special training a while back?
Oh, yeah, I honestly forgot about that. Only half of the freshmen that quit during that week ever came back. It was tough stuff. Okay then, let's not get declared fugitives.
Probably for the best. Come on, I'm already warmed up, so you need to catch up. I don't want to have you dropping because of a cramp or something equally banal.
As if that would happen. I don't think I'm about to make it easy on you.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Still, it's good to have something else to do in the moment. Maybe practice is exactly what I need to occupy my mind. Keikun might have given me a lot to think about, but I don't need to think about it right this instant. It should be okay to take some time to myself. For now, let's focus on kicking some hair ass. Several hours later. By the time nights rolled around, I am not even slightly surprised at seeing Mom walking through the door a little earlier than usual. Truth be told, other than Tuesday night when she didn't come home, she's been pretty consistently coming home for dinner this week, which is only just slightly unusual. However, I'd lost my nerve by then and ended up not saying a word to her until now. Because of that, I spent all of dinner time on edge, barely touching my food at first until she asked me why I wasn't eating, at which point, I devoured it all right quick. In hindsight, not my best idea, I feel a little sick. Still, I can't keep avoiding it forever. I have to say something before... Alright, that's it for the dishes and leftovers. Thank you for the help, boys. If you don't mind, I'll go to my room now and get some rest. Before that... Oh, wait a second. Mom. What is it? There's actually something I needed to talk to you about. Can I wait until tomorrow, sweetie? This week was very tiring. It can't, actually. Is that so? Alright. I'm all ears. The truth is, how do I start? Actually, you see, Shoichi and I, we're not really, friends. I just remembered I have a school project due Monday. I should really start working on it. But can't you wait? Nope. Bye. You little bastard. Don't scurry away like some rat. At least have my back a little bit. It gets an awkward conversation, but don't leave me alone. I'm not sure I follow, sweetie. Are you telling me that you and Shoichi-kun got into a fight? You shouldn't end your friendship over something like that. No, that's not... God, this is hard. How am I already stumbling over my words this bad? Get a grip! What I mean to say is, we're not just friends. Not just friends? What do you... Oh. Oh! You mean... Yes. That's... Wow. I didn't expect... This is a lot to process. Off to a great start here, huh? I'm sorry. There's a lot I could say right now, though I guess my first question should be this. Are you happy? Yeah, yes. And this is serious. I'm not misunderstanding anything here. You two are in a serious relationship. Yes. How long? How long? That's about 2 months since the end of May. Well, that is certainly not nothing. If I'm being honest, I'm a little disappointed you kept that a secret for so long. Call me old-fashioned, but I wouldn't have let Shoichi-kun spend the night in your room unsupervised had I known. So I'm not exactly in love with that part of it. Ugh, you're going straight into that? Seems Keikun was right on the money there. Sorry, it wasn't exactly easy to talk about. I can imagine that, sweetie. I do appreciate you telling me, though. You're not mad about me being, not the part about us kind of skulking around without you knowing. I'm not mad, but it's a lot. I never saw this coming, so I'm not quite sure what to say. Honestly, that's fair. I'm still figuring myself out too, so it's not like I immediately came to terms with it myself. I see. I wish I could have helped you, but I'll admit I'm clueless about that kind of thing. That makes two of us. Mom reaches for my face, and I instinctively relax, thinking she's about to stroke my cheek or something. Instead, she flicks my forehead, making me recoil. Ow! What gives? No more unsupervised sleepovers. If Shoichi-kun comes over, he'll be sleeping in a futon in the living room. Are we clear? Yes, ma'am. And no going to his place to spend the night without first letting his parents know, too. Right. There was a reason I brought this up. I was so carried away in the relief of Mom's reaction that I forgot. Something wrong? My long face all of a sudden. Well, you see, that's actually an important thing I needed to talk to you about. What do you mean? Didn't you want to tell me about your relationship? Yes, but also no. Yuichi, I'm confused and too tired to make sense of this. Explain. Oh boy, where do I begin? For the second time today, I recount today's events, as well as the relevant information leading up to it. Just like Keikun did, Mom mostly stays quiet, listening to me throughout the entire thing, not interrupting with anything more than a few mm-hms here and there to show she's listening. Though unlike Keikun, her shock and frustration are much, much clearer to see, and I can watch she grows more intense with every word of mine. That is ridiculous! Took the words right out of my mouth, Mom. Of all the... No. I need to take a deep breath and calm down. Give me a minute. Sorry, I know it's a lot. It's not something you should have to apologize for. I am simply very disappointed in Urata-san and the way he's handling this. Is that so? Good thing I didn't tell Mom about the stuff he said to me when he kicked me out a while back. I told her what he said about me being raised without a dad, she would have been deeply offended. There's no reason for me to tell her something that might hurt her for no reason, especially considering she's always had a good relationship with him before Shoichi's parents divorced. Mom sighs, shifting her weight around before eventually leaning her head against the kitchen counter, rubbing her forehead. Far be from me to criticize other parents' parenting styles, but this isn't something a parent should do! Yeah, do you think you can do something about it? What do you mean? You know, talk to him parent to parent or something like that? Get him to lay off Shoichi a bit? That's... Sweetie, no matter how I feel about it, it's not really my place to meddle in... Mom's voice grows quieter and quieter until she's trailed off completely, leaving her sentence unfinished. Mom... Does Sachiko-san know about this? Huh? Oh, I don't think so, not unless Shuichi's dad told her. I mean, Shoichi hadn't talked to his mom since their divorce for reasons. Doubt he'd want to come out to her when they've just started mending their relationship recently. Not to mention the whole thing with Hitoka having a crush on me for the longest time. It's just messy. Plus, Sachiko-san is getting ready for her wedding. Right, she's getting remarried and all. I don't remember if I mentioned it. They were going to have a family dinner so Shoichi couldn't get to know his future stepdad and all. It'd be pretty bad timing if this were suddenly dropped on her lap like that. I can understand that, but it's not something you'll be able to put off if you want to get anywhere in this situation. I'm not Shoichi-kun's mother, so I have no right to insert myself in his family situation. Sachiko-san, however, is and should have a say in something as important as her son's education. I can understand him not wanting to involve her in his problems due to their personal issues, but the only person who can rightly say anything to Takehiko-san is the other half of the parenting unit in this situation. So, what, you think I should just tell her? I'll do it. Huh? My son is also involved in this situation, so if you're going to ask a parent to step in, it's only right that it comes from me. No offense, sweetie, but you're not the best at articulating yourself, and Sachiko-san might have an easier time of it if it's another parent talking to her from a place of worry about her children. You do that for me? Of course. This is important to you, so it would be important to me too. Besides, I've watched Shoichi-kun grow up, so he's almost like a son to me too. Which, now I think about it, is a bit strange for me to be saying considering the situation. Ugh, yes, please. Never say that again. Oh, but you used to say Shoichi was pretty much your brother, though. Stop! I know you're right about it, but please never remind me of that ever again. I am begging you. Okay, hush. I'll try calling Sachiko-san and scheduling a time to talk to her tomorrow, okay? Can't you do it today? Sweetie, it's almost 9 p.m. It's rude to call someone's house at this time. But, Yuichi, I understand you're worried, but manners are manners. Okay. There's no point trying to argue. I literally asked Mom for help, so going against her decision would really suck. At least she took things well. Mostly. I just hope she's able to do something. Fuck, I miss Shoichi. I'll be heading to my room as I said. I'll talk to you later after I've had some time to collect my thoughts, hon. Thanks, I should probably get to my room too. Need to be by myself for a bit. Thanks again for the help with dinner. Sure. On the one hand, I'm glad I managed to tell Mom, but I wish it had been under better circumstances. Not to mention, I'm running out of ways to distract myself today. Well, after times like these that the internet was invented, I'll just go on my computer and fuck around until I'm tired enough to sleep. That ought to help. Let's see, what should I do? I have no games I want to play, and it's not like my laptop can run much in the way of games in the first place. Music? Nah, I could listen to that on my phone. So go for the good old default of WanTube. Maybe watching a few vids might distract me. God knows it's a huge time sink at the best of times, so it seems like a decent option. After browsing through my recommendations for a few minutes, I settle on the video from one of my favorite fighting game WanTubers talking about the new character getting released in one of the games I play. Granted, I've been playing it mostly out of sheer spite at the money I spent on it. Thing's been on life support since it released earlier this year, and everyone's in agreement that it's the worst game in the franchise by far. Every month that passes, we hope that a patch might come out fixing the jank and adding, the incomplete features that were promised, but it's very clear the thing was rushed out the door. Maybe it's too much to hope for. So when I'm halfway through the video that my phone starts ringing on my desk. I'm bewildered by it for a moment. After all, just as Mom said, it's pretty tone-deaf to message someone this late at night. That's when I see the caller ID. Saya-chan? Answer things so fast it's barely done with the first repeat of the ringtone. Hello, Yuichi-kun? Hello there, person who does not check their own phone. I just called you and that's how you greet me? Maybe I'll... Don't you dare! They don't give me attitude. You have no idea what I was doing today. That's exactly the point. I wanted to know, but you weren't replying to your messages. You're with Shoichi, right? Oh, you knew? I went looking for him at the student council. They told me he put in for a leave of absence. When Coach told me you took a leave too today, I kind of put two and two together. You went to the student council? Didn't Shochan ask you for space? You have no idea how hard it is for me to stay away, you know. Yeah. So, how's he doing? Bad. I'm surprised he's keeping it together at all right now. He's under a lot of pressure from you and his dad. Wait, from me? How am I pressuring him? No matter how right you might be, you do realize having you of all people in his ear telling him to go against his dad is a lot of pressure, right? Shoichan is spinning out because of you two. What the hell am I supposed to do then? I don't know, but maybe be a little more gentle with him? That's easy for you to say. You're not the one Takehiko is trying to excise from Shoichi's life like a virus. Then what did you do all day with him? I listened. I let Shoichan talk, and I listened to what he had to say. Didn't tell him what to do or that he was in the wrong. I just listened, asked questions, let him come to his own conclusions. And did that help? It helped him feel better at least? So he's still going along with his dad, going to transfer. He's leaning into that direction. What the hell, man? And you couldn't try to dissuade him from that. Oh, sure, because what he needs right now is another person telling him what to do. Like I said, he's wound up pretty tight right now. I'd prefer if he didn't, explode. Of course, I don't want that either, but don't act like I'm transferring from our school is somehow better. If Takehiko-san keeps running Shoichi's life like this, then he's never going to be happy. Not allowed to have the career he wants, the friends he wants, the partner he wants. You think that's okay? Look, I didn't call to fight, okay? I just wanted to let you know Shoichan isn't doing well right now. So, you should be mindful of what you do. Try not to make things worse for him. Yuichi-kun? Your silence is making me uncomfortable. Please tell me you didn't do anything to make things worse for him. I told my mom about it, and she's going to talk to Sachiko-san so she can intervene. Yuichi-kun! What the hell was I supposed to do? If Shoichi's dad is making unreasonable demands, the only one who can go against him is Sachiko-san. Hell, Kei-kun and my mom both agree. You told Keisuke too? Oh my god, are you utterly incapable of keeping this to yourself? You weren't answering your phone. What the hell was I supposed to do? Come on, I know it's tough, but you know I'm right. Sachiko-san can think that maybe outing your boyfriend to his mom was a bad idea. I had no other option. You had plenty of options. You just keep someone picking the worst possible ones. Sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of you not helping. I'm not going to sit around and let Shoichi transfer to a different school and cut me out of his life. Sachiko-san can talk sense into his dad. Yeah, sure she can. This will still hurt Shoichan, you know. It's what's best for him in the long run. What's best for him, huh? You're sounding an awful lot like a certain someone. What the fuck? How can you even say that? All I'm saying is having a bunch of people making decisions for Shoichi is the reason he's in this kind of situation. The two of you have decided on what's better for Shoichan, and now you're playing tug-of-war with him in the middle. I don't hear you offering any solutions. That's not... You know what? Usually I can trust your advice, Sai-chan, but this time you're wrong. And I'm tired of arguing with you about this. Good night. Wait I cut the call, angrily slamming the phone on my desk, trying to keep myself from throwing it right now. It almost immediately starts ringing again, but I ignore it. It starts ringing for the third time. I get sick of it and turn the thing off, not wanting to hear Sai-chan right now. I'm making things worse? Like Takehiko? Fuck you! How dare you say that? I should, hear him out like you did and just let him decide to break up with me? As if I could ever do that. Shoichi might get upset with me for being the reason his mom finds out, but it's still the only solution I can think of. And yet, my chest hurts. Sai-chan's words are enough to plant a small seed of doubt in my mind, and it begins gnawing at me. I hate this. Sai-chan, you're the worst. There's a time and place for everything, and this isn't the time to sit idly by. If anything, having no one step in sooner is the whole reason we're in this situation. If Sachiko-san had been around, none of this would have happened. I don't want to blame Shoichi for the way he let their relationship grow distant, but there's nothing else I can say. Ugh. Sai-chan and Kei-kun tend to be the reasonable ones in our group. I'm not used to having the two of them give me such conflicting advice. Is this situation really so complex that they can't agree on what to do? What the hell, man? I want to cry. I just want to point this out. This is a very complicated situation where I feel there is no right answer. There is no right answer to this. Someone will end up getting hurt in the end. Like, yeah, obviously it's the best case scenario. However, someone is going to end up getting hurt in the end. Like, I'm with Yuichi here, for the most part. Did he overreact? Yes! Absolutely. Yuichi overreacted. However, This is a situation where no one's going to win and everyone is going to end up getting hurt at some point. No one is going to win. Everyone is going to get hurt. Like, everyone is overreacting. No one is... I feel no one is doing the right thing at the moment. But we can only wait and see. What the hell, man? I want to cry. Shoichi's the person I would want to talk to when I'm feeling like this, but not being able to talk to him is the reason I'm like this in the first place. God, I hate this. I hate this so much. Shoichi, you wouldn't break up with me, right? You wouldn't make me fall for you this hard only to break off once your dad tells you to, right? My head is a mess right now. All I can do right now is believe I did the right thing. I'll find out soon, I suppose. Really hope this doesn't blow up in my face. Everyone loses. That's it. That is the entire fucking situation. Everyone loses. Either way, Shoichi is losing someone. Takehiko-san, I hope you step on a Lego. Takehiko-san, I hope you commit vertical tortilla chip. Takehiko-san, Takehiko, I genuinely hope you fall down the stairs and then stub your toe. And then as soon as your toe is no longer stubbed, you stub it again. I hope when you have your blanket on in bed, it is too hot to sleep, and then when you take it off, it is too cold to sleep. Stay safe, have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.